Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into a really incredible 25-year journey that totally redefines what it means to be a builder. Now, this isn't just some dry resume of jobs worked and hours clocked, right? It's an epic story. A story about constructing physical structures, sure, but ultimately, it's about building people. We're going to trace a path that literally starts with raw earth and mountains and evolves into this incredibly complex mastery of urban infrastructure. But more importantly, we'll see how decades of technical mastery sparked a complete revolutionary movement for families and communities. So let's jump right in.
Before all the massive commercial projects and the super complex engineering, the foundation was actually laid on a family farm. He learned the first rule of heroes: every hand matters. Helping a father with technical home needs, assisting a mother with gardening, and just working alongside siblings in the kitchen, it establishes the core theme of this entire journey. Stewardship, at its heart, begins with community, it begins with family, and it begins with shared responsibility.
So, let's look at Phase 1, Roots of a Master Builder. This is all about exploring the land and building mountain shelters from raw rocks and woods.
But here's the thing. Nature isn't just a playground. It can be a pretty harsh teacher. While living on a small island in a water reservoir at the Maggot Dam, growing fish in cages, the founder witnessed a truly devastating drought. He saw a neighbor literally burying fingerlings in the ground, crying over the total loss of their livelihood and facing bankruptcy. The absolutely crucial point here is that buildings and structures, they aren't just wood and steel. They protect human livelihoods, and this early lesson really anchored the real human stakes of stewardship and survival.
Moving on to Phase 2, Mastering the Building Blocks. This part of the journey is about overcoming barriers and jumping fences to master the foundation of a brand new industry.
After a really difficult migrant journey on the West Coast, which was built on sheer grit and basic survival, by the way, a major realization hit on a flight to the East Coast. Imagine looking down at the vast landscape and all those sprawling buildings from the sky, and a single thought just takes hold. There is so much to build. This is the exact moment the whole narrative shifts. It's no longer just about daily survival. It suddenly turns into this massive professional ambition and a boundless world of infrastructure just waiting to be understood and constructed.
The physical evolution of his expertise was honestly relentless. We're talking about starting as a general helper doing basement-to-attic residential interior renovations, and then the work just steadily grew in scale. It moved into commercial environments, doing steel roofing and building envelopes for subway stations and multiple airline airports. Then came the heavy, physically demanding world of welding structural steel beams and foundations. And finally, it culminated in 15 years of mastering low-voltage fire alarms and safety systems. It was a direct, incredible climb from raw earth to the most critical infrastructure imaginable.
That brings us to Phase 3, the whole building perspective. This is where you start seeing a building as a single, interconnected living organism.
15 years. Just think about that for a second. That represents a massive anchor in low-voltage fire and life safety. And you might be wondering, why is that so important? Well, because while steel and wood are the bones and skin of a building, the low-voltage and safety systems, they're its nervous system. Over these 15 years, inspecting residential spaces, churches, industrial plants, and big commercial facilities, the founder learned how a building essentially thinks and protects itself from catastrophic failure. It's a complete top-to-bottom understanding of emergency protocols.
Having this comprehensive life cycle knowledge bridges the gap between what an engineer designs and what actually happens in on-site reality. It spans everything from mechanical systems like modern HVAC, high-pressure steam and boilers, all the way to heavy structural components like steel roofing and welding. Add in the consulting and safety expertise with project oversight and code compliance, and what you get is a complete transition from a hands-on tradesman to a high-level senior building systems consultant.
And this deep knowledge is exactly what creates the consultant edge. See, a traditional technician usually focuses on one isolated corner. They just do plumbing, or they just do electrical. But with a whole building perspective, it's like you can see the matrix. You understand exactly how a leak in the roof is going to affect the low-voltage sensors down the basement, identifying hidden risks and operational inefficiencies that others completely miss. And really understanding that interconnectedness of a building's bones, skin, and nerves, that is exactly what prevents catastrophic failures.
Which leads perfectly into Phase 4, the spark of a movement. It's this powerful revelation that people need strong foundations too. After decades of service, literally protecting everything from subway stations to family homes, a new realization took hold. Youth need missions, parents need structure, and communities need stewards. To represent this major shift from physical architecture over to human development,
A specific emblem was forged, the Unurans Corridor Founder Crest, which features a rampant unicorn right in the center. It's a real emblem of legacy, representing a mission born from a lifetime of labor, migration, and mastery, now completely directed toward community stewardship.
So enter COHANDY, the Stewardship Operating System. It is a framework forged from one person's life experiences, for sure, but it was built to serve many. The entire goal is to turn practical skills into meaningful ceremony and to transform basic responsibility into a clear, structured pathway for growth. It's a total game changer. And that takes us to Phase 5, building the next generation. Stepping forward not just as a boss, but as a mentor.
So how do you translate a massive library of technical mastery into a clear pathway for family teamwork? Well, you need structure. In practice, the COHANDY method is built on 3 key steps. Step 1, youth don't just do boring chores, they earn badges through real, hands-on missions. Step 2, parents don't just dictate from the couch, they guide the process with dignity. And Step 3, as families work together, the broader communities actually grow stronger through this shared work. It's an operating system where hands-on learning becomes truly meaningful community action.
If this 25-year journey is resonating with you, and I mean, how could it not? The door is open. Whether you need to leverage that whole building expertise for senior building systems consulting, or you're ready to start your own family stewardship story with the COHANDY movement, you can reach out directly at unuranis@cohandy.site.
I want to leave you with this final, super provocative thought directly from the source text. What if every home became a training ground? Really think about that for a second. What if we viewed our own homes not just as shelters, but as places where the next generation learns resilience, capability, and heroism? It completely changes how you look at the roof over your head, doesn't it? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I really hope it inspires you to look at your own surroundings through the lens of a steward. Catch you next time.